So the 2016 race for the White House taking a bit of shape right now, every day in fact. Some new questions over the mainstream media and its relationship with people in power. CBS's Bob Schieffer telling Howie Kurtz on Media Buzz that reporters may have pulled punches too much, too often, when he first hit the campaign trail back in 2007 as a senator.
The whole political world was struck by this fellow who sort of came out of nowhere with this very unusual name. And when he won out in Iowa, I think people sat up and took notice.
But isn't it the job of journalists to be skeptical even of the young phenom?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't know, maybe we were not skeptical enough.
Hindsight, ladies, good morning. Katie Pavlich, news editor for townhall.com, and a Fox News contributor, Marianne Marsh, former senior advisor to Secretary John Kerry, who we hope is doing better, given the news that he's being flown back to Boston now. We hope for a good recovery for him as well. All right, Katie, what did you think of what Bob Schieffer was trying to characterize from 2008? Pressed many times by Kurtz, by the way.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of material to go through with this issue. And you look at 2008, and Barack Obama was not vetted by the media. The media failed to ask the questions of Barack Obama that maybe would have prevented a lot of the scandals that we have seen over the past 6 years. And not only did they fail to ask those questions, but they did something that was much worse, and they defended the president and painted an entire sector of the population, the Tea Party, as racist and bigots for even asking the questions that the media should have been asking of President Obama. And I would hope that moving forward in 2016 that we'll see some tougher questions asked. But, you know, I don't know. You see George Stephanopoulos, who of course was pressing Peter Schweitzer on his book Clinton Cash, and then later we find out that he donated $100,000 almost to the Clinton Foundation. So I'm not so sure there's going to be that separation.
Where does it go? Where does it stop? Where does it end? I thought it was an interesting interview with Schieffer, by the way. Marianne, what did you think of his comment looking back on 2008?
Well, look, I think Bob Schieffer has it right in that it's up to the press to cover campaigns and report the facts and the truth. That is their job. But what we see today is people view the media as badly or lowly as they view Congress. I think that says a lot. That said, however, it's not like Barack Obama went through the 2008 campaign unscathed. He emerged on the scene from a speech in 2004 here in Boston when John Kerry was running for president. And, by the way, he opposed the Iraq War. And many in the media took that and looked at Obama and said, you know what? He wasn't duped by the Bush administration. Many of us were. We should have been tougher on Bush. So I think he earned a lot of credibility there with a lot of the media. But look, Reverend Wright, a whole host of things.
Listen, this is what Bob Schieffer said, a man I respect and like too. He said, what we do is we watch the campaign and we report what the two sides are doing. I think it's the politicians who make the campaign. Now, that sets us up for the following question. What Bob Schieffer was referring to, Katie, to me, seemed to be the horse race, the polling, who's up, who's down day to day, and not the policies or the past record of said candidate. Well, you can make a fair argument that, okay, you can say that's the responsibility of the adversarial campaign on the other side, or you can make the case, where is the media digging into the past to figure out what he or she is all about?
Yeah, the media has a responsibility to do both, to report what's happening in the campaigns and also to vet candidates. And don't get me wrong, I mean, they vet candidates. In 2012, they were more concerned about making sure everyone knew about the way Mitt Romney transported his dog or the way he had binders full of women. I mean, those were the issues that they were focused on. They weren't focused on even Barack Obama in the 2012 campaign. And the media does have a responsibility to ask tough questions of candidates, who they are, what their policies are going to be. And again, the media in 2008 and continuing into President Obama's candidacy smeared those who questioned those policies as racist and bigoted and anti the first black president in the White House. That is what they did, and it is unacceptable and unforgivable.
I think people sat up and took notice. Marianne, react to that.
Look, the fact is, it is up to the media to vet everybody. I think it does a disservice when they only focus on the horse race, especially when there's so much bad public polling out there. But the reality is there's so much more media now. It is hard to hide. More doesn't mean better, but there is more media. And all the established media outlets have added to their resources, especially for this presidential campaign. That said, though, it is much easier to go around the media because there's so many other avenues to reach voters directly. I personally think the stronger the media, the more the media focuses on the facts and the truth, the better it is for everybody and democracy. But again, I think what you're going to see during this campaign, you're seeing it already, is candidates are going directly to the voters on Facebook ads, on Twitter, on so many different online media platforms that they don't have to deal with the media.
Listen, I'm out of time, but the horse race is the easiest story to follow. You know, I mean, it's like sports.
And
you
a lot
know,
of bad
who's up
polling,
and who's down.
though.
But really, the tough work is what's behind the votes and the past policy. Marianne, thank you. Katie, thanks to you as well.
Thanks,
All
Phil.
right, Martha.